my name's Alanis Sophia, and you're watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press, and today I am so happy to be joined by Alanis Sophia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Before we talk about Idol, I wanted to circle back and discuss your time on Voz Kids, where you finished as a runner-up. This was like around 7, 8 years ago now. What was the most valuable lesson that you took away from that experience?
I mean, that was the first time I ever really entered the music industry, and that was really what made me want to actually pursue it in a more professional way. What I think I might have taken away from all of that was really just an introduction to the industry and how it works, especially with social media, since I was only 11, and trying to navigate that with my mom helping me, and also working around the stage, and you know trying to figure out what I wanted to be as an artist, even at that age, was really hard to do. But I think that's what I mainly took away from that entire process with the show.
And talking about, the pressures of competition at such a young age, I'm guessing you leaned a lot on your family to help you get through it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the show, I didn't really leave my room much. Pretty much how I am right now. Because I'm not a competitive person, in a sense, like I don't like to compare myself to others. Um, because then I feel like I'm kind of getting lost in the competition world, because everyone's so different and we have so many different talents, as artists. So like at that time at 11, it was pretty hard for me to like try to you know, not compare myself to everyone else, because everyone had experience and vocal like training classes and everything, and I had none of that. It was just me with my passion towards music, and that's it. So it was pretty difficult, but like with the help of my parents, and staying in my room all the time and not going online and trying to like block out the noise, it helped in a way.
I wanted to talk about your parents' role in your career so far because they have really been all in since, like you mentioned, around 8 years ago. So tell me about their constant love and support.
Well, I mean, my parents, they support me in anything that I want to do. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I want to do music or acting or dancing or anything. They'll just love me and support me no matter what. And they're currently actually missing me right now a lot. They call me every single day, like 5 times a day, just to ask like how I'm doing. Did I eat? Am I resting? Vocally, actually getting 8 hours of sleep. So yeah, their support means a lot to me. Yeah.
Now, after Voz Kids, you returned back home to Florida. You became an ambassador for Visit Florida. What was the most memorable moment given that experience? Because I was watching those commercials on YouTube and you got to tour some pretty incredible locations.
Yeah, and that was, it's pretty cool for like an 11-year-old, like being the actual face of like an entire state. So I think just that entire concept is something that I find really valuable. Um, as well as, I learned how to act in front of a camera, because and promote something. It kind of like introduced me to being also like an influencer and stuff as well.
You went to what, Disney World, zip lining,
Yeah, zip
hot
line.
air balloon?
Yeah, actually, that was pretty fun. I forgot that I did that. Yeah, I did a hot air balloon, and I think at one point I did. This is like something traumatic, but I had to hold a tarantula. I don't even want to talk about it. They
The one mishap during that whole experience was having to hold the
Yeah,
tarantula.
they were like hold like reptiles, and I'm fine, but like spiders is just no, it's just a no for me. And I was like in the shot, and I had to pretend like I didn't care, and I'm like, but it's like crawling all over me, and I'm like, ah, no.
Bad memories, bad memories. But I love that you did get to spend a lot of time with your family during those commercials, so they got to go with you. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about your current project, American Idol. Describe what this journey has been so far to the top 24, because now that you're older, you're more assured of who you are as an artist and the music you want to make.
Yeah, well, with my entire journey, I I kind of see this as like a lot of growing up. Because before American Idol, I was just traveling with my parents, and they were always there. So with the show, it's kind of like making me like, hey, like you're growing up. You need to like now mature even more. Your parents are not going to be there every step of the way. Um, so it's just been a lot of like growing and just figuring out where I want to be and what I want to do on my own.
Let's talk about the fact that Alanis Morissette tweeted at you and shared an article about your audition. So where were you when that notification first came through?
I was in my room. Actually, I was talking to my mom, and then I went to my room, and I went on Twitter because it's my favorite app, and I started seeing like a bunch of notifications, and I was like, did American Idol post something again? Like, what's going on? And then I just see a bunch of random people saying she's gonna freak when she sees this, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I see her tweet, and she's saying like that I'm so sweet, and she's sending so much love for me and towards me or whatever, and then I just start screaming. And I'm like, Mom! And she's like, oh my God, what?
Typical teenager, right?
She's like, oh my God, what now? And I'm like, Alanis Morissette. And she's like, what about her? What about her? And I'm like, I just shoved the phone in her face. And then she just starts bawling her eyes out. And then I start bawling my eyes out. And then she starts like stress eating. So she's just like eating food because she doesn't know how to cope with everything. And then I start eating ice cream with her. And yeah, so it was just in my house, but we were freaking out.
I love that. And spill the beans. Has it just been that tweet so far? Have you like reached out or messaged her at all?
I haven't reached out, like I responded to her tweet, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I should message her or anything. But I recently got followed by her Broadway musical, Jagged Little Pill, and the account shared my uninvited performance and followed me and said that they're now two fans of
Oh, well,
two.
American Idol, we need that happy ending here. We need a video once, live music comes back. I'm sure. Have you and your mom been to an Alanis show yet, or?
No, I mean, my mom had tickets to see her live years ago. Like this was like in the 90s. And she never had the opportunity to go. She got pregnant with me. But yeah, so we're just hoping that, one day, someday we can see her live or even have the opportunity to meet her.
Or,
Hoping
sing uninvited.
or or yeah, because that was a song. The whole thing with that song, I chose that song for my showstopper because I was feeling homesick, and on top of that, that was the song that my mom um played for me while I was in her belly. And I didn't know this until like, when I sung the song, she had told me that that song was what made her realize that she wanted to keep me. And you know so I had no idea. I was like, I just love this song, I feel so connected to it, and now I know it's because she played it here all the time. So yeah.
I love that. It's such a beautiful and like personal moment, especially for you and your mom. Something else, tell me about the friendships and connections you've made so far being a part of the show.
Oh my gosh, I just love everyone here. I'm really, really good friends with everyone. I think with Hollywood Week, it was pretty difficult for all of us to interact because there was so much going on. But now that it's in top 24, we've all just been bonding nonstop, hanging out at the pool deck or at the pool. Yeah, no, we're all like really, really good friends. I'm really close with Cassandra Coleman, Alana Del Sherman. I think that's her last name. I'm bad with last names. Um, Colin, Wyatt, I'm missing someone. Alyssa, Cecil, pretty much everyone. Oh, Andrea and Annalie as well. Yeah. And Chase.
I love that, this is a competition, but like you mentioned, you're not a competitive person. We've spoken with Cassandra and Wyatt, and it's really all like about supporting one another. And you know that when you leave the show, you'll have friends to champion one another or potentially write together. Has like collaborating been something you've been talking about already?
Yeah, actually, I have been thinking of like collaborating with Cassandra and Wyatt. I think, yeah, like Wyatt and I already started working on writing a song together. But things have just been getting crazier and crazier by the minute. But I'm actually really happy that we're all like friends and I have people that are going through the same thing as I am. So they're going through the same emotions, the same process, so they're gonna get it completely. Um, so yeah.
So last week you performed Sia's Alive. You got to duet with Jimmy Allen on Shallow. Tell me, watching those performances back on TV, were you like happy with your performances?
Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that performance, especially singing with Jimmy. It's such an honor and he's so cool. Like I actually just texted him right now congratulating him on an award he just won. But we're like I'm just very grateful and thanks to American Idol like they put me and him in contact and now he's like after the show, let's collaborate on like a record and stuff. So it's like it's a lot that I'm grateful for and I honestly feel like with my performances I am pouring my heart out on the stage, so whatever happens, but I feel like I'm doing the best that I can am. Yeah.
I thought your performances sounded amazing, and I was reading the online comments. A lot of people are saying you could be a rock star if you wanted to, or a pop star, or a bit of both. And I love that the colored hair streaks came back because when you were on La Voz, because you used to have the extension all the time. So was that like a conscious decision? You're like, I need to bring this back to the live shows.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's a part of who I am and my image. At first, I was like, should I bring it back? Like, or is that just me clinging on to the past, or have I grown out of that? But then I'm like, no, it's just me. So I brought them back, and everyone started going crazy.
I'm sure that there are people who have watched you on that show and then seeing you now, they're like, how much time has passed?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments about it saying, "Oh my gosh, from Voz Kids to American Idol, and the colored hair extensions are back. Like nothing's changed," is what they were saying.
So your influences range from, I think, like 70s, 80s rock to today's modern pop music. How would you describe the original music that you've been working on lately?
Um, I think my like if I had to describe it, original music, I'm leaning towards like pop rock right now and I'm trying to make it an early 2000s modernized theme, if that makes sense. So it's like a lot of influence from Pink and even Alanis Morissette's lyrics and melodies, um, with also like a combination of like, you know, Sia's like kind of dark theme, I guess, with Demi Lovato as well. I'm just like trying to like choose and just combine something to make it my own. But yeah, just early 2000s pop rock modern, you know.
So
Yeah.
I read in a past interview that you do like to write one song every day. I'm not sure if you've still been getting the opportunity to, given your current situation and in California, but is that still something you've been actively working on?
Yeah, I have been actually trying to keep going at that routine that I've created, but if I don't do it, I still somehow do it even as like a jokey song. Like if I'm walking around, I just start, rhyming things just so like the habit is still there. Because if not, like I'll just, lose it and I'll lose that skill. But yeah, it's a little hard with the schedule being the way it is right now. But yeah.
Is it like notes in your phone or do you carry around like a little notebook? Okay, notes in your phone.
Both, both.
Oh,
Yeah, both.
it's good to keep that creativity flowing, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and I love having everything written down as well. If I don't have my journal, then I will like use a voice memo and write it in my notes. But I like having everything visually like in front of me on a paper just for my brain.
So you are currently studying media communications at Full Sail. How have the online classes been going?
I actually had to take a pause. I
I could have assumed that, but
I,
like you are still when did you start? I think you're graduating next year.
I
Still the
graduated.
plan? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe like 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, I had to sadly take a pause for now until, um, whatever happens with the show. Because it was just becoming too much, from like rehearsing with the band, rehearsing with vocal coaches, dry block, interviews, back to rehearsing, and then like having the time to actually sit down and do good on school, and then also having to find time for myself to like mentally like just relax from everything. It's been a lot, so I had to take a pause just for now.
In terms of what you've been studying, like how do you think it's helped in your music career so far?
Well, I mean, media communications, it's so diverse. Like I can study, like I can not study, but I can branch out after college. Like I can do audio production or marketing on, social media, or even like cinematography. So it's actually helped me a lot with my social media, because now I know how to brand myself, and how to present myself online, and how to interact with people, and kind of promote my music and who I am in a more strategic way. And thankfully my mom also studied the same thing. So if I can't do it, she's right there to like help me and like everything. So yeah.
I love your branding. It is so cute and colorful between what's on Instagram or the cover art that you released for your singles last year. Now tell me about the hometown support that you've been receiving from Dade City and Pasco County, Florida.
Oh my gosh, the support's actually been insane. Like I have been getting nonstop messages, emails, like posts on Facebook, Twitter, everything is just, it's been so much that I'm just so grateful, honestly. I'm really grateful, and I'm happy that I'm able to represent my county and my hometown, and just kind of have a clean image and something good that's coming out of it. So yeah.
Now we're going to play a game that I like to call Throwback Trivia. So these questions are based off of the earlier parts of your career and social media activity. It's basically a test of how good your memory is. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. So your first public cover video on YouTube was to what song?
Rolling in the Deep.
That's pretty good. That's 2012. Yep, that is correct. On your Instagram story highlights, what is the highlight that is colored light blue?
Thanks, Ryan.
Another, okay, so you even snuck one in when you were leaving the stage, right? Last performance, I think. Where did this come from?
Oh my gosh. I like to have inside jokes with people. And this all started, I this was like when the premiere of the new season was gonna air, and they did this Valentine's Day, these Valentine's Day slow-mos of like the judges and Ryan and Bobby. And Ryan was like smiling at the camera in slow-mo, and it was saying, you're my perfect date or something for Valentine's Day. And I said, thanks, Ryan. And from then on, I was like, I'm just gonna say thanks to everything until the day he says, you're welcome, Alanis. So it's just every single time. And the thing is, though, last time when I said it to his face in the live performance, he did smile. So I think he's catching on. He was like, I don't know.
Hopefully, you'll have many more times to say thanks, Ryan, after every performance. I would love that if he actually like addressed that on
I
television.
really hope he does. If he does it live or even on social media, or just every time I say thanks, Ryan, just at least you're welcome, Alanis. That's it.
Question number 3, your sister Victoria guested you on her little variety show, Hi, I Am Victoria. This is in October. And what did you face paint on her face?
A butterfly.
Final answer?
A bee. Am
I
I
should
wrong?
have, I feel like that prompted you. Okay, yes, it is a bee. So I'll give you that. It was a butterfly, like I think a couple months prior, but in
Yeah.
October it was a bumblebee. Okay, 2017, Clean and Clear. Add, what are the 3 dance moves that you do to get rid of your nerves?
Oh my God. I think this was one of them, right? And then this one, and this one, maybe? I feel
Two,
like that
two
third
out of
one.
three, 2/3. The last one was like this swing snap kind of thing.
Oh.
You were pretty close. Two-thirds. Okay. Last question. 2013 Instagram photo. You're standing in front of a One Direction cutout at a movie theater. Who did you identify as being the cutest member?
Zayn.
That's correct. Okay, you got four and two-thirds out of five, so that's pretty impressive. You
I
must have
have
a good memory.
memory. I have good memory. I remember every detail and everything in my life or anyone I meet. So I just remember everything. But Zayn, ah.
Were you a big Directioner, I'm
Oh
guessing?
my God, I was such a big Directioner. When I saw them live, I don't I don't cry, but I cried. Um, I would totally go back to that night because like then quickly like they announced that they were splitting up and I thought, oh, I'm gonna see them again and it's no.
Yeah, I think everyone probably thought, they had a good how many years left in them, but um yeah,
They were together for 5 years. They had good run, but but yeah.
you can always listen to them on your playlist. I know that you
I have a playlist.
yeah, Alanis's jams for your heart. I went and listened before the interview. You have a lot of good throwbacks on there. There were some that I would say are more obscure, like Stiff Dylan's Ultraviolet.
God,
Loved
that's
that movie
one of my,
that was in.
yes, that's one of my
No
favorite.
one knows that movie though. Like v very few people.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite rom-coms. It's just that song is so good. And when I saw that they finally put it on Spotify, because I would just listen to it on YouTube, I was just like, yes, now I can put it on every playlist because I have so many playlists. Like some that are even private. I should probably just put them all on there, but it's a lot.
If you want to listen to the music that runs Alanis, go to her Spotify. And our signature question for you, which is actually perfect after I found out that you worked at an ice cream shop prior to coming out here. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
I would definitely be coconut, because I that's the ice cream flavor that's my favorite. I don't even know how to describe it. I just like everything that's with coconut in it. So yeah.
I love it. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you for taking the time to chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for inviting me. I had so much fun. I really like that trivia. That's fun.
And make sure to catch Alanis on American Idol. We'll find out if she made top 16 this Sunday. We'll be posting her socials below, so stay up to date with new music and projects, and we'll see you next time.